The views and opinions expressed on Deeply Upsetting are those of the panelists and not those of the Geeks Under the Influence Network, associated brands, properties, or businesses. Listener discretion is advised. Please keep your hands inside the ride at all times.
Fuck, marry, kill. Holiday edition.
Okay.
The Grinch as portrayed by Jim Carrey.
Oh, wow.
The Santa Claus as portrayed by Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Or Buddy the Elf as portrayed by Will Ferrell.
Oh, man, that's tough.
So, okay, here's the caveat. So you're not basing it upon the actors themselves in real life.
Okay, but the character itself.
Right, exactly. It can't be like, well, Tim Allen's a piece of shit, which is true. Nothing to do with that.
Well, that was going to be the easy one. Is that,
I know,
but
no.
Now it's literally Santa.
It's the character.
Or the character of New Santa.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we've got the Santa Claus, the Grinch, a live action version.
Yep.
And the third one was
Buddy the Elf.
Buddy the Elf. Oh, man. Okay. Buddy the Elf exudes no sexuality whatsoever.
Literally none.
So not really the fucking type. Marrying also.
Not the fucking kind.
Not the fucking kind. So, but also on the same end, this is a human raised by elves that has not developed any kind of like life skills.
Right.
To be able to survive. So Mary is also difficult.
Questionable.
But also like, I don't want to murder Buddy the Elf. I feel like there'd be pitchforks and like torches outside of the studio if
Definitely.
I agreed to kill Buddy the Elf. So then we got the Santa Claus, literally the new Santa.
Yeah.
New Santa. And then the Grinch, which the Grinch seems like an easy kill.
Yeah.
I mean his heart grew 3 sizes, but it's also like, you did some heinous shit though.
He did.
Like
yeah.
how much, just because you like decide that you're not bad anymore, does that mean that you don't have to pay for your shit before?
Well, the Who's forgave and forgot, so maybe you're just not as good as the Who's.
It just isn't really. I mean, but also on the same
I'm saying
end,
you're not.
I'm not as good as the Who's. No.
Because they forgave and forgot.
Yeah, the Who's are pushovers, and that's
Yeah,
why they get
that's true.
shit on all the time.
That's true.
I don't want to be like the Who's.
All right.
Yeah. Pieces of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck Whoville.
Major fighting words.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so you're killing the Grinch and just burning down Whoville.
Burning down Whoville.
Wow.
While cackling.
Cindy Lou Who, shedding a single tear. She watches her village burn to the ground.
She's trapped inside her home.
Oh my God.
Cindy Lou
you
Who
made
is
sure
burning
of it,
to
didn't
death.
You?
Yes.
You monster.
So, murder the Grinch and burn down Whoville.
Okay.
For no reason. Like, the Whoville part is just gravy.
Yeah.
Whovian gravy.
Jeez. Roast beast gravy.
Roast beast gravy, yes. Then, so I've got the kill out of the way. So I got to fuck and I got to marry the Santa and Buddy the Elf. Santa, it's new Santa, so he's like hip Santa.
Yeah. As
Ish.
hip as Tim Allen can portray someone.
Which is not hip at
Not
all.
hip at all.
Not at all hip. About as hip as a dad that does finger guns at a Chili's.
That's you.
That's not me. I don't eat at
That's
Chili's.
you without a kid and not at Chili's. That's you at a local restaurant without a child doing finger guns.
Finger guns.
At the bartender.
While Fugazi is playing
Yep.
over on the speakers. Yeah, that's not entirely untrue. Okay, so
I'm not any better. I'm off raising the roof to Fugazi in the corner by myself. No one else is dancing.
Oh my God. Okay, so we've got fucking Mary. I think I don't trust Buddy the Elf to be a good life partner.
No.
I just don't think that he has
Do you
the
trust
skills.
him to be a good sex partner?
No, I think it'd be more like, yay, pour maple syrup on it. You know, it might be weird and kinky.
Okay.
Just because he has no real understanding of like sex itself. So it'd just
Yeah.
be like, I don't know, can make cotton candy work its way into this thing?
Oh, it's so sticky.
I know, but you know, if Buddy's into it.
And you did canonically marry Santa in the last Fuck, Marry, Kill.
That's true. So I'm
that's,
just,
that's part of your brand.
that is my brand, to marry Santa and be taken care of as a kept man.
Yes.
Yes, kept man.
I know that this is what you want.
Yes.
You haven't been subtle about it.
None whatsoever. I want someone to take care of me and give me money for nothing.
I'm sorry, I can't be that. I'm trying.
Tim Allen can.
I'm working my fingers to the bone to give you a nice life. But I'll never be Tim Allen.
You'll never be Tim Allen.
I accept it.
I really hope that you do. And then Buddy the Elf, yeah, I think it's just, that's going to be very awkward for me. I'm not going to feel good about it.
No.
Because he has the mindset of a child.
Right.
And that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But also, I've seen how quickly he can like amass snowballs, and he may not be as quick as an elf with his hands, but he's got some quick hand movement, which means that dude could jack me off like really fast.
That's very true. This is not amateur hour.
No. I'll be like,
jack off station. Is that a phrase that people say?
yes, 100% a normal saying that people say.
I don't want to go to amateur hour at the jack off station. Good people watching this.
You know, LA, where there's lines around the block to get even 5 minutes at the jack off station. And, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Instead of the girls sign, it says like hands. But they're dry because it's amateur hour. They haven't learned to moisturize.
Did we already come up with a title for this episode? I mean, Amateur Hour at the Jack Off Station is pretty good.
We can't put Jack Off Station in the title.
I mean, Jack is a name. It's fine.
Wow.
And he's off work for the holidays.
Wow.
So, yeah. And he's waiting at the bus station to go home.
That's true.
So.
Jesus. I'll have to debate that at a later time.
Right? With Apple.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, Apple. So what about you? What's your...
I don't know where this inclination is coming from, but something deep in my heart tells me that I should fuck the Grinch. So
really?
I think I'm going to do that.
You do like a bat boy.
I do. I love a bat, clearly.
Yes, right.
As I speak to the Finger Guns master
Finger Guns
over
McGee.
here.
Yeah.
Finger Guns McGillicuddy. I don't know what it is. I'm definitely not attracted to him. I know that there are Grinch fetishists out there, and like, you know, do your thing. That's fine. At least it's seasonal, so we don't all have to deal with that year round.
It's that crowd that likes pear-shaped men.
Hey, no shame to pear-shaped.
No.
No body shame the Grinch.
No, the Grinch though.
Shame him
The
for
bottom
other
of that
things.
pear is down near his like knees though. Like that's a low-hanging pear.
I do feel though as if, because I think that the Grinch would be kinky for sure, but also I feel like I would have to get into like a humiliation kink thing, which is not my deal. Just in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
Not my deal. Please don't do that. I will cry.
You
That's
dirty girl.
I didn't mean that. I mean, that's pretty
Piece
mild.
of shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I am a piece of shit.
I'm like, that reminds me of my dad. They're like, oh,
no.
Things have taken a turn. So I think I should fuck the Grinch.
Okay.
I think I'm going to marry Buddy and then also continue my canon and murder Santa.
You do enjoy homicide.
I love it. Santicide.
Of Santicide, yes.
Ooh, Santicide's a good episode title too, though.
Santicide is pretty good. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to murder Santa. And I think I'm going to marry Buddy. Oh, God, such a tough call.
You're going to be have to be his emotional and financial barometer for the entirety of your relationship, though.
I know. But people find him charming. Like, I think he'll be able to carry us somehow.
How long is smiling is my favorite going to keep you from fighting, though?
Oh, God. He's not going to know how to fight. I'm probably going to feel crazy all the time. Honestly, this is probably where I develop a drinking problem.
We're like,
my
they found a cyst and they don't know what it is. Like a growth and they need to do some more stuff. They have to do a biopsy and you're like crying and everybody else is just like, here's candy. You want to smile with me? And you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm having a crisis right now. I need you to be here for me and just hug me. And it's like, I love hugging and just like, wee while hugging you as you're sobbing.
With my brittle bones. Okay, God. This is such a downer because now I feel like I should murder him. Maybe I'll marry Santa and just fuck the whole thing.
Could you imagine?
I could be a kept person too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Like this talent that I'm telling you don't have. It's like, you can't just be taken care of.
I'm like, no, I don't have to be independent. That's lame. I could be fully dependent, you know?
All the women making Santa take care of them, throw your hands up at me.
My hands are covered in fucking jewels. So I'm good. So yeah, okay, I'll murder Buddy. That's fine. You've convinced me to do that. So I hope you feel good about that.
Feeling great about the responses to this episode that we're going to get.
Exactly. It's gone from Santa side to Elf side.
Elf side to Buddy side.
Yep. Tragic. But that's where we landed. So no matter what, this holiday season is going to be deeply upsetting. Welcome back to Deeply Upsetting. I'm Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And it's a special edition of the show today.
Special edition.
Special edition. We ain't got no questions.
No questions.
Fuck questions.
Flying by the seat of our fucking pants, our Santa pants.
Our Santa pants. We're both wearing Santa pants right now. We didn't even plan it. We just both showed up in gigantic Santa pants.
Serendipitous.
It's all that fits during the quarantine, and that's okay. We're all just doing the best we can. But at least now we look like powerful and wealthy in our Santa pants.
Well, it just means that we're committed to the bit for the holidays. It's not that we do a lot of sad eating during quarantine. It's
definitely
we were just really prepping up for the holidays.
We're doing holly jolly eating.
Yes.
We've gotten really good at it. During the quarantine, we were prepping this whole time.
Have a holly jolly emotional disorder.
Oh, how real is that?
Right?
So fucking real, because we're coming up on Christmas and it's a weird one. And so what we decided to do is, for our last episode of the year, we're going to do like a little year in review. Because I don't know if you guys have realized this, but for some of us, this has been like kind of a crappy year. There's been like a lot of bad shit that's been going on. And I feel like, unfortunately, the news is only focusing on like a couple things, like the big stuff or whatever. But there's plenty of deeply upsetting stuff that happened this year that you may not have heard about. And that's what we're going to talk about.
It's true. You might be focusing on like, riots in the streets and racists in charge and pandemics going around the world.
Oh, really? Is there?
Well, I've heard. I've been more
news.
focused on this stuff that we're looking at here. Unfortunately, has been kind of missed by the news or mentioned very briefly, and then the world moves on.
This is essentially our foray into investigative journalism.
Really?
I would say. You don't agree?
No. I
done
believe
research.
that this is our beginnings of Deeply Upsetting being a true crime podcast.
It is indeed. I feel like that would be perfect for us. It's the natural next step. So that is what this episode is going to be. Year in review 2020. What the fuck happened?
Watch the fuck out, my favorite murder. We're coming for you.
Exactly. Completely. Fuck you. What's the number? Crime Junkie is like the #1 podcast.
Is it?
In the country, I think.
All right, Crime Junkie.
And we're #2, obviously.
Yeah.
So soon we will take over.
We will take over the spot.
We will usurp it. But yeah, it's been a rough year. We want to bring a little bit of levity to the situation as much as we possibly can, because everybody thought that this was going to be our Gatsby year or whatever. We were all going to celebrate like it's the 20s. But little did we all know that it was going to end up like the end of The Great Gatsby, where everything is just an absolute tire fire in all of Act 3.
Yes.
Yes, and we're all just face down in the pool. Spoiler alert.
This is also very like Great Depression era stuff happening here. It's like Grapes of Wrath, where we're breastfeeding as the camera pans away.
So save your questions for next time, because we will need them. Don't you worry. You can always send them in no matter what. Social media. I don't even have to go through the whole rigmarole. It's the end of the year. We'll save the business for next time. If you have questions, you know how to send them to us, and please do it. Let's get on with the show.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Do you want to go first? Tell me one of your most upsetting things.
The thing that's upsetting to me is that it is kind of coming out that it is not alien related, and it is more so just people being weird. Is I really want to get into more information involving the monoliths.
Yeah, what the hell?
So the first one was in the, I think, New Mexico desert.
Yes, or Arizona. One. Was it New Mexico?
It was one of them desert states.
It's one of them.
Yeah. One of them desert border states. And there was some helicopter flying over and saw something shiny in the desert that didn't seem like it should have been there. So they landed and investigated, and it was this triangular monolith coming out of the ground. Yep. And that's weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Little weird.
And there was a lot of controversy, a lot of conspiracy theories as to why it was there. Some, of course, were immediately assuming that it was aliens that placed this monolith in the middle of the desert for no reason.
Obviously, it's the first inclination.
Yeah, definitely. Others said that it might have been an art installation of some type, and plenty of other
real hipster shit right there.
Right.
Let's put it in the middle of a desert where most likely no one's going to see it, and then just go from there. Amazing.
Yeah. And then additional monoliths started popping up in Europe, and I believe in California State as well. There was one. There was a few that popped up, and the one in California State, some Proud Boys like tore it down and started like cussing at it and calling it like a piece of shit. And
Really?
yeah, there's video of them tearing it down and like
Wow.
calling it names. Like, because I guess they're offended by monoliths now.
Wow.
That's the thing.
I did not know that
Yeah.
part. That's amazing.
New part of the Proud Boy movement apparently is hating monoliths. That's
Good to know. Just
not
add it to
not
the
just
list.
Jews anymore. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
cool.
also monoliths.
I'm sure the Jews feel good that their attention is being diverted elsewhere for the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty solid one. What are they doing? What is your theory?
Well, my theory is that it is actually an alien thing, but not for any kind of like drawing energy from, the Earth or any kind of like scientific thing. It's more just a test of like the human condition. Is they're like, let's just put a metal thing down there and see what they do. And so alien researchers are just like watching from a like a telescope from a spaceship, just being like, okay, there's like racists calling it like racial slurs in California. There's in the desert, there's people that just like trampling all the plant life. Everything is just like getting decimated around this monolith as people want to come take pictures with it. So that's cool. Just realizing just like how much of the human condition can be discovered by simply putting a piece of metal in the middle of nowhere.
Or in the same vein, did they put it there because they've seen how quickly we've let the entire world go to shit this year? So they just popped it in there to be like, they'll freak out. They are not mentally stable enough to deal with this.
Something just keep us busy.
Yep.
We're like,
ooh, shiny.
Pandemic. And they're like, yeah, pandemic. Look, did you see the shiny thing? We're like,
Right.
ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I want to take a selfie. And they're like, just as we planned.
I
Idiot.
desperately want it to be like a Doctor Who thing where somebody finds like a secret button on the side of it that causes it to like open up like a panel in the desert floor that allows there's this underground dwelling area underneath or something. And no, we're not that lucky.
No, definitely not.
Could you imagine if you're like that one person being like visiting the site of the former monolith before it got taken down, and then you just like kick a rock and then a light shines out from underneath the sand and you're like, oh fuck, I found the thing. And
that
then,
would be amazing.
yeah, it'd be so good.
I feel like that would not happen to me. I wish it would, but I just don't feel like I'm the main character in that story, or even the side character. So I know it wouldn't happen to me.
You're not the hero's journey person.
Well,
the like one person plucked out of obscurity to do something great.
I would be more of like the unlikely heroes version, or the unlikely hero character. Like I'm like the Seth Rogen if he went on a hero's journey.
You're like
thing,
Bill
where I'm,
Murray
like,
in The Man Who
fucking
Knew Too
everything up.
Little.
Yeah, exactly.
just
I'm
like-
just like fucking shit up, but everyone likes me because I'm endearing, but I'm an idiot and I shouldn't be there. And they wish that they would have gotten like someone who did better in high school. But here I am. And then somehow I end up saving humanity because I have a good heart and a little brain.
They have way more qualified people there to talk to the aliens, but you're the first one to talk to them, so they want to go through you
Yep.
as the representative of Earth.
Yep.
And all the higher ups are just like, no. Even the one that just randomly sings like musical numbers, like while wandering around the house. That one, that's
called me out.
I did call you out.
I'm keeping it spicy. Musical theater numbers are spicy, right?
It's spicy. Yeah, it's like making out and you start singing lines from Les Miserables. Yeah, that's really
That's sexy.
that's super sexy.
Les Miserables is like the most underrated sexy musical.
Like, you like that? And you're like, look down. I'm like, no, what?
Yeah, I'm telling you to look down.
Look down.
Get down there. Maybe if you just like listen to my cues better.
Oh, that's true. I'm bad at my cues.
Terrible.
hitting my
cues.
marks.
Yes, exactly. We've worked out the blocking so many times.
We really have.
And yet, you still manage to go left when you're supposed to go stage right. That's a conversation for another time, though.
True.
Let's move it right along.
Yeah, so monoliths, it's just the aliens fucking with us to see what we'll do.
Yes,
I think.
absolutely.
What about you? What do you have for this year for...
All right. One that I have that I think a lot of us took some issue with that happened at the beginning stages of the pandemic. And, we might have been distracted by like the pandemic itself. But I really want to talk to you about the Imagine video.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
If anybody didn't see it, first of all, congratulations. I have never seen the entire thing because I get so much secondhand embarrassment that like I gotta go and I like yeet my phone into the sea. I've lost a lot of phones.
Secondhand embarrassment is exactly what that video is.
Oh yeah, cringe.
So cringe.
So cringe. So basically, Gal Gadot took it upon herself like the first week of the pandemic when a bunch of people got laid off and things were like very scary and uncertain to be like, you know what me and my celebrity friends would do? And her assistant is like, donate money to those in need. And she was like, no, that's stupid. We should all sing a line from the song Imagine by John Lennon in our mansions and upload it to the internet to like really bring people some joy. And it is so bad that I truly wanted to cry for them. I felt bad for the celebrities because it was so embarrassing. And also it's very fun to watch to see which celebrities wish that they were dead. Like they do not want to be there at all. They somehow got guilted into it or like they owed Gal a favor.
Yeah, you've got some celebrities that are clearly trying really hard to be into it. Like Kristen Wiig is like being really emotional, like imagine all the people.
I thought she was one of the ones that was like, imagine all the people living for today. Okay, next. Like,
oh no, I just pulled a name out.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
very
but she
possibly
is in there.
I think Don Cheadle's also just like not here for
There's
it.
a lot of them that are clearly like, what the fuck? And then there's like, I think it was what's the guy that's always in terrible rom-coms as, oh, this is going to be too many people. James Marsden.
Oh, James
He's
Marsden.
in every like bad rom-com.
No, he's also in every movie where there's a animated sidekick and he's a guy that has a truck.
Yep.
There was like Sonic the Hedgehog and that movie Hop about the bunny that shat jelly beans. That was a thing.
Didn't see that one.
That was a blockbuster movie if there ever was one.
So sorry I missed it. Gonna have to finish my 2020 with it.
Yep. So romantic comedies and animated characters that shit beans is his move.
But I feel like he was like making like really soulful, sympathetic eyes into the camera to be like, I'm just like you. Like I'm having a hard time in my mansion. And that general attitude from like the celebrities during the pandemic was truly so
just tone deaf.
Tone deaf is a great word for it. Yeah. It made zero sense. It was kind of like in the same week, Ellen DeGeneres posted a video of her walking around her like $20 million mansion and videotaping herself being like, it's like I'm in prison.
And I think around the same time, Madonna shot a video of her in her bubble bath. Being like, yeah, we've all got to buckle down.
Yep. So learning how incredibly disconnected the celebrities are from us. Celebrities, they're not just like us, as it turns out. So that Us Weekly column got to get scrapped immediately.
They use olive oil for dressing too.
Right. They're also sad at the pandemic.
They also shop for shoes.
Right. Shop for shoes that are 18 times more expensive than your shoes.
And shoes that cost the same amount as your college loan.
Yep, exactly. So that was one of my just early contenders for extremely upsetting candidates.
That was very upsetting, infuriating even. And that really started a whole conversation about our relationship with celebrities in 2020. Yes. I feel like that actually fundamentally changed.
Which honestly, I'm grateful for because honestly, the celebrity worship is terrifying. And so maybe this will help a little bit. Who knows?
Maybe.
I don't know.
But we'll see once people can actually leave their homes again.
Yep.
So.
All right, what's next on your list?
Next on my list, it was brought up at the beginning of the year, and then it kind of went away. It was like a running joke a little bit on the internet, but then there's just no word that happened afterwards. Like, did they disappear? Are they still here? Should we get like bee suits? The murder wasps.
Murder hornets.
The murder hornets.
Where are they?
They started up in the upper Midwest in like the Oregon, Washington State area, apparently. And they were like, yep, they're here. It's like Asian murder hornets or something. Yep. And they're an invasive species. They're not supposed to be in the United States. And so they're running rampant in the upper Midwest. And then nothing. Now, I understand there's a lot of stuff other people were dealing with, but when you have a thing called fucking murder hornets you don't just turn a blind eye to that. You know, it'll be fine. I'm old enough that I was around for all the fear that came from killer bees coming up from South America. That there was like a facility that had created like a hybrid of Africanized bees and American honeybees. And the whole thing was that there were swarms of it that were making their way up South America through Central America towards the United States. And then sometime around the 90s, there were discussions about there being killer bees found in like Texas. And it's like, oh no, they've made it. They've made it to the United States. And in 2020, I can tell you, I have not thought about killer bees in forever.
Yeah,
if anything, people are like, save any bee.
All of them.
All of the killer bees, cool. It's
Love
fine.
them.
Get a bad rap. You're good. Just pollinate, please.
Yep.
All the bees are fine. So I'm wondering if the murder hornets are going to go the same way.
That is wild, actually, if they do. Because, yeah, don't name them murder hornets if we're just supposed to forget about them.
Right? Like murder is suggestive of like, you should probably pay attention.
Yep. Next year, it's going to be like the assassination ants have arrived. They can hold up a hatchet.
Right.
And they will get you.
Suicide bomber beetle.
No.
Like, no, what?
Yeah, that was upsetting. But the mystery behind it is probably the most upsetting part. Because it kind of feels like we all forgot about them and they're just like hatching a plan.
Right.
They're coming.
Well, at first they talked about there was signs that they were around, and there was no real confirmation that they had in fact made it to the United States. Like they had seen husks of like exoskeletons, stuff like that, but I hadn't found a live one.
Yep.
For like 2 months. And then they finally found a live one. So I'm wondering if it's just like the whole they're here part is maybe a little bit exaggerated. There's like 3 of them that made it over, and they're fucking terrified. They're in the redwoods of the great Northwest, like the giant redwoods. And they're like, where the fuck are we? This is
like there's no one around for us to murder.
Like we were trying to murder people. Trees are as big as skyscrapers. What are we? Are we where the fucking teddy bears from Star Wars live?
Truly.
Like what is happening right now?
Poor murder hornets.
Oh, they're so out of place.
They just wanted to murder.
They just want to go back home where they've come to be just understood as murdery.
Right.
And
here they're just like regular hornets, I guess.
Also, they made their big appearance in the States like, we're here. And everybody's like, yeah, cool. Anyway, fire tornadoes, COVID, like
right?
all the things happening.
Yeah, they don't get their day in the sun. Like the killer bees, honestly, they probably got their day in the sun mostly because of My Girl. That's
True.
where all of their notoriety came from. So we just need the murder hornet, children dying film. And then we will have murder hornet fear.
All these killer bees with like stomach rockers that say like he can't see without his glasses.
Oh, shit. Just like a little glasses tattoo on their face.
Right? Instead of the teardrop.
Yep.
Yes.
Amazing. I love that.
All right, so the murder hornets is the other one that
Okay.
I was looking at. What do you got for?
All right. So I feel like you might disagree with me. And honestly, I'm going to let you know right now that I don't give a fuck because I'm very upset and I need to talk about it. So I am not a Star Wars person, as most people know in the network. And it's been discussed on many a show. But you got me into The Mandalorian and I love that shit. I can't believe how much I love it. I'm so into it. It's great. Obviously, I am attached to Baby Yoda and would sacrifice myself for him.
Yes.
Just like everyone
Like
else.
everyone else,
Everyone else. So we've all come to know him as Baby Yoda, which is adorable and wonderful. And then they give him a fucking name and it's Grogu.
Grogu.
Go fuck yourself, Jon Favreau. Eat my ass. Like, that's the worst name I've ever heard.
Grogu is
It's not
really
cute.
bad.
It's not cute. It's a creature name. It's gremlin-y. It's like disgusting. I hate it. I'm so upset. Baby Yoda forever. I will never call him Grogu until the day that I
Like
die.
naming Baby Yoda Grogu is like having like a cute kid that's been in cereal commercials that's like the new Hollywood darling that everybody's really excited about. But then you find out his real name is Bartholomew.
Exactly. Exactly.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? It's just not fair. Mm-mm.
Grogu was a weird choice. And the thing that's funny about that is that like there's so many names in the Star Wars world that are just like most of them just
they're
fully
all
made up
nonsense,
names,
yeah.
nonsense names. Doesn't mean anything.
But there are like nonsense sounds that sound cute. And then there are nonsense sounds that sound like a bridge troll, and that's Grogu.
Grogu.
What the fuck?
Goo is in the name.
Yeah, it could have just
Grow
been
goo.
goo.
Yeah.
In a cute way. I don't know. I haven't really workshopped it, but I think that I could easily come up with a better name for Baby Yoda. Such as Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda's good.
Great name.
I think there's only one Star Wars character that I know where they came up with a name, and that was Elo Asti, which is a fighter pilot from the new trilogy of movies, and that's because J.J. Abrams is a really big Beastie Boys fan.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's for Hello Nasty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say I hate it, but I guess I don't hate it anymore.
Yeah, I don't hate
still
it as
kind
much.
Of hate it.
Yeah, fair. But
It is
besides
what
that, I think it's just people sitting in a room sounding out like consonants and vowels together, and just like once there's something that like sounds like it might be something like that's a character name, like go.
It's like people coming up with nicknames for their grandfather. They end up just being so awful.
Gimmelgum. Like what? What is Gimmelgum?
Bumpu.
Yeah, right.
So terrible. A decorated war veteran.
Right? Is Blipple. Bliply.
Just keep going.
Blipple.
This is the rest of the show. That
that
has a nice ring to it.
That's pretty good.
That would have been so much cuter for Baby Yoda.
Baby Flipperton.
Wow.
Flipperton.
I think that we got it. Yeah.
Yep.
Jot that down.
Yep, I got it.
Tattoo it on your heart.
Baby Flipperton.
Yep. Much better.
That sounds like Baby Yoda would have to just put on glasses now.
Yeah.
Like Flipperton wears glasses.
It's also like a little waspy. Not into that so much.
Yeah, Baby
Baby
Yoda's not really
Yoda.
wasp, but he's too down to earth.
He's so down
Like
to
he
earth.
rolls with the Mandalorians and shit. Like,
Yep. He floats through the air, but he's still down to earth.
oh wow,
Aw.
coming this summer,
Coming this summer. Fucking Grogu.
Baby Grogu.
Terrible. Terrible. Who was in the room? I feel like Jon Favreau just wanted to fuck with us, like the aliens and the monolith.
Favreau was filming season 2 of the Chef Show,
Yep.
and they were like, we got to come up with a name. And somebody's like, fucking, I don't know, Grogu. And people were like, I don't, fuck it. Why not? Yeah,
Who
fine.
cares? It's not like it's the character that's the most beloved out of the entire show. No, who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, Favreau's coming back eating like Korean tacos, being like, what? So what's been happening? They're like, yeah. And it's the scene where
Yep.
like Ahsoka's like, it's Grogu.
Yeah.
Drops his taco. What the fuck, guys? I'm gone for 2 weeks.
We already got it. It's done. Oh, so anyways, I'm still riled up about that. You go ahead now.
Wow.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, that is a lot. I'm moving this up in my list a little bit because I'm reading up on them right now. There were massive storms in Australia, in the New South Wales and Queensland area, that brought massive piles of sea foam inland, onto the beaches. And, it's not a necessarily terribly uncommon thing. Australia and their beaches and storms and stuff is like totally a thing. There's great white sharks everywhere. There's a coral reef. There's murder animals all over through Australia. And so this isn't a surprise that this happens in Australia. The headline is, beaches overrun by snake-infested foam.
What?
The sea foam after the storm rolled in to the beaches, and in the foam were fucking poisonous sea snakes.
No, thank you.
So there's video of people playing in the sea foam, like kids and people playing in the sea foam. It's infested with sea snakes.
No.
Just like rolling around on the sand under the foam, just like doing their thing and just biting people. And apparently people are just like not giving a shit. Because imagine if you do live in Australia, something like snakes and sea foam. It's like this snake infested sea foam. They're like, probably.
Right.
Like they're not
Truly.
just assuming.
Australians are a different breed. They are incredible because the things that they deal with. Whew. Have you seen those spiders that just like wrap into the tree and they look exactly like the tree?
No,
It's just like
and I'm
gigantic.
never
long
looking that up.
limbs. I have to show you.
No, I don't want
have to
I
show
don't
you.
want to see that.
Well, this is the show Deeply Upsetting.
I am
bitch.
already
It's
deeply
not
upset.
deeply
I have not seen the
pleasing.
picture yet, and I am so sad.
It's very sad.
I am so
Anyway,
sad.
It's very bad.
But I know that they have like the orb weaver spider, which is the most poisonous spider on the planet.
Yeah.
Is in Australia.
Also, I feel like poorly named. Orb Weaver sounds like your weird, like, hippie aunt that took too much acid. And she's like, yep.
Weaver.
That too. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that she was like, it's like I can weave the orbs. And you're like, okay, Aunt Kathy, that's cool.
Yeah.
Tell us about Woodstock again.
Yeah, she lives in the painted desert and trailer and
Exactly. With her girlfriend. They've
talks-
been together for like 50 years.
right.
I love it. I love Aunt Kathy. I don't love the orb weaver spider.
No, definitely not. Australia has like all sorts of, poisonous snakes and spiders, even their ants. The ants they have out there are like fucking terrible, like fire ants and stuff that will fuck you up really bad. So Australia, definitely not on my top list of places to visit.
That makes sense for you.
Yeah, I'm just not into it at all.
I get it.
And now that they have Seafoam full of snakes, which sounds like a mad 2020 Mad Lib.
It so is. That's the way this year has been.
That is 100% this year. Is just stuff that doesn't make sense. That it's like I never considered those two things being put together, like fire tornadoes. Cool,
But
that was
sure,
a thing.
Just
But
pull
sure.
them both out of a hat.
Yep, Seafoam full of snakes. Yep. Cool,
Yep.
why not? Yeah.
God is just fucking around. Just drinking on the job.
So yeah, that's another one that I've
That's
been.
a good one.
Yep.
Absolutely. My next one is personal to me, and I'm sure I cannot be the only one. But listen, I grew up with a really beautiful show of just full poetry called Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
Very important television. I think it won like several BAFTAs, like really artful work. But it was, meaningful to me as a child. And I was promised by our lady Hilary Duff that we were going to get the Disney Plus Lizzie McGuire reboot. Very exciting. And it got canceled because Hillary wanted it to be like an adult show, and she wanted fucking, and Disney Plus said no. Let Lizzie McGuire fuck.
I feel like there's a number of shows that are like from our childhood that have grown up with the people that watch it. Like even the Animaniacs came back to Hulu, and there's some like adult content in there. I mean, they're not fucking. Like,
let Lizzie fuck. She just wants to.
She just wants to fuck. I think it's okay.
She's like 30 years old in the show now.
Like,
So
oh no,
let her fuck.
30-year-old might fuck. Yeah, probably.
And Hilary Duff was like, nope, if I can't fuck, I'm not doing the show, which respect. But also, I'm so bummed because I was very, very excited about it.
That's impressive from Hilary Duff, who hasn't been relevant forever.
How dare you? She was on TV Land's Younger.
Oh, I'm sorry. TV Land's Younger. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, you done fucked up now.
Yeah.
You really have egg on your face. So embarrassing. Hilary Duff is out here.
Yeah, doing the Lord's work on fucking TV Land.
Exactly. And she was doing the Lord's work by trying to let us watch Lizzie fuck. And so now we don't get to because Disney Plus is a bunch of prudes. So that's that on that. The kibosh.
That is shameful.
On Lizzie. I know.
There's a lot of television stuff that happened this year that or didn't happen, or it may be happening, that has been really upsetting.
Yep.
The one that took the world by storm that I still don't fully understand. I think it was because it was really right at the very beginning of people just being home. Mm-hmm. And if people weren't forced to be home, I don't think it would have been the phenomenon that it was. Mm-hmm. And to the point where now there's even a push for Trump to pardon somebody from this show, talking about the Tiger King.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
We've got the Tiger King, about this like redneck gay Floridian dude that is just like balls to the walls bonkers. Like,
oh my God.
It comes out
Unhinged.
big surprise, like by episode 3 or 4, that there's been a lot of meth use. And,
it was a real shock, honestly. Because yes, we did watch the Tiger King, obviously.
Yeah. Joe Exotic and crew. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And man, like, they can't write soap operas that crazy.
And the fact that they let it air right after we all got like furloughed in the pandemic and just started like drinking all day. Oh my God. Perfect. Netflix's best move yet, honestly.
Yeah. They made a mega hit out of something that would have been just like some nonsense that kind of fell by the wayside otherwise. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, like, it was definitely like you would watch an episode and then go, well, this is definitely like the peak because there's no way that it can get crazier than this is. And the next episode comes around and they're like, and now there's a woman that probably murdered her husband. Definitely. And in a later episode, she'll explain how she did it.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Comes in. Okay, cool. I'm wrong.
Yep. If you want a real time capsule, there's one episode of Deeply Upsetting that was recorded in like maybe week 2 of the quarantine process. We had already watched all of the Tiger King, and it is notoriously called the drunk episode. I fucking hate it. We're both absolutely wasted talking about Tiger King and not being able to remember anyone's names. It is a tragedy, but a real time capsule of a moment.
I believe
it
that
just
was
represents the time.
I believe that was our fuck, marry, kill too. Was like
It
the
was.
different husbands of Joe.
And we didn't
Joe
know their
Exotic.
names.
No, we were like the guy without the teeth.
Yep.
The young one.
Yep.
The newest one.
Yep.
Just didn't know.
It's so bad.
Now I kind of want to go back and listen to that episode.
It's not great.
No, that's
But
one of our
it's
less
extremely
awesome ones.
indicative of exactly what was going on.
That's right at the very beginning where everybody was just feeling really out of sorts.
Yeah, and we were already restless week 2, and I think it was like 2 a.m, and we were like, let's fucking do the show. Fuck it, right? We were like, woo.
Yeah.
It was awful.
That's when we were mixing frozen concentrate orange juice with vodka.
This has
Big
been a dark
pitchers.
year, everyone. This has been a dark year.
Very dark year.
So much vodka during that.
Oh
point
my
of
God.
time.
And we had to switch to, like, that's how we started discovering, like, sparkling waters, flavored waters, because we felt so gross from the amount of sugar we were taking in with our vodka.
And neither of us considered it. We were like, we didn't even drink that much. My head hurts so bad.
Right?
Maybe because I've just been chugging fruit juice.
And then, like, the from concentrate super sugary
my
fruit
God.
juice.
All right. Well, everyone that listens to this show knows that we're not the smartest, but
No.
we are the show you're listening to.
That's true.
So there you go.
Nailed that one.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Way to bring that
I was
around.
going to say funniest or something, and then I was like,
No.
let's not tell the people lies. They're present. All right. What's your next?
Well, no, the next one is you. We got Tiger King.
Oh, shit, Tiger King.
Yep.
Okay. So I really need to talk about this, and it's not from this year, but I just discovered it, and I saw it on TikTok. Which means that a lot of people are about to discover it. And so I feel like it didn't get its notoriety last year when it came out, but now it will. So I think it counts for this year. It is a video from a recording of a podcast. So shout out to this podcast, Bully and the Beast. I don't really know a lot about it. It's a guy and a girl, and they just like shoot the shit for the most part.
Okay.
Wax and Lori, I believe are their names. And in this episode, see, it's something that you don't think about because we don't really talk a lot about like our very specific practices when it comes to pooping.
Mhm.
But for some reason it gets brought up on this show, and Wax is truly dumbfounded that nobody else catches the poop in their hands and then gently drops it into the toilet. Because
What?
That's what washing your hands is for.
What?
I watched this today, and truly my jaw was in hell. It was so absolutely buck wild. I honestly had to rewatch it for a moment. And people have asked if he's trolling or something. If he is, then give him a fucking Oscar, because he is selling it so hard, and she is just so dumbfounded that she's like trying to keep it light, but also being like, you're a monster.
Yeah.
And he's looking at like the team and being like, nobody else does this? Like, that's why you wash your hands. And she was like, no, you just let it happen. And he was like, you just let it go into the toilet? She was like, yeah.
Why do you need it to... What?
I know.
Oh.
I know.
No.
Your brain
Why?
short circuit.
Why would you need to catch it?
I don't
Are you
know.
worried it might get injured?
Right,
Why?
but then to only reveal later, the big reveal, because she was like, do you put it in your trash can? Your trash can probably is like the worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you just like casually let it into the toilet then. And she was like, then cut out the middleman.
Yeah, right?
Your hands. And the worst part is he's like gripping the microphone as they're having this conversation. His hands look kind of tense. And I was like, gross.
Yeah.
Light that microphone and everything else on fire.
The building, the whole building.
And I think the reason that it is, I mean, obviously it's upsetting for, myriad ways, but one of the reasons that I'm the most upset is because we simply do not know each other as people. Like these people are among us.
Yeah.
That's the real among us. Who catches their shit in their hands? That's who I want to know. Because that's fucking sus.
That's very sus.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I'm really upset. I can find the video if somebody wants me to post it, but I found it really easily online. And it's absolutely wild. And also, I'd love to hear the discourse about if we think that he's trolling or not. I don't know. If he is, I feel like at a certain point, he would have admitted it because he was getting fully roasted. And at a certain point, I feel like you would be like, I don't want this to be my reputation.
Sure.
But no, he continues on. I gotta know.
Could you... how do you respond when you end up becoming the guy that people know as like the shit hand guy?
Right. I would have to change my name and drive until my car runs out of gas, light it on fire, and then start over.
And just work as like a busboy at some diner in the Midwest
Off
somewhere.
The grid,
yeah.
Completely. In like a small little beach town with a lot of mysteries.
Right.
That's where I'd end up.
And then there's this one waitress that's like, he's so mysterious and, what's his story? And then it doesn't come out for years until the two are dating.
Yep.
And then sees a story about shit hand guy.
Yep.
And all is revealed. That's
so much worse. I'd rather be with a murderer.
Right. And then he has to move again, moving to another town where somebody doesn't know, where nobody knows that he's shit hand guy.
I would put all of my money, I guess, into plastic surgery then just take off.
This is like the show Renegade starring Lorenzo Lamas from the 90s, but with a shit hand guy.
I am very sorry, but I do not know that reference because I am cool.
That's fair. And also not a great cool reference at all.
Exactly. That's why I don't know it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
there's one listener like, everyone. Fucking Renegade? Holy shit. Into that reference.
I'm sure you're cool, listener. Jesus.
The deeply upsetting Renegade fan club group that I'm going to open up on the Facebook.
The Venn diagram has a huge overlap.
A huge overlap of Lorenzo Lamas fans.
And deeply upsetting fans.
Yeah,
for sure. You got anything else on your list?
I do have one piece here that I definitely want to get into a little bit, and the title is XAA12.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
That is a name. Yes, it is. Person's name. A living being's name.
Unfortunately for her. I want to say her.
Is it a her?
I think.
Okay.
I think so. I want to say that, but honestly, I couldn't tell you because I do not care.
That's true.
Though I do care more this week because okay, so
XAA12
is Elon Musk and Grimes' child.
Yes.
And did you hear about what Elon Musk said this week?
Was it something about like we have to become part robot or be left in the dust?
That was
something?
A different one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another one. Cool.
It was, I feel like I'm going to butcher this because I don't remember 100%. Basically, it was like, I'm totally cool with trans people, but the pronouns are getting like a little bit out of control because it's too hard. It's like inelegant or something like that. Something bullshit that like clearly harkens back to the fact that A, your child's name is a password, and B, your cars are ugly. They're so ugly. And it was just like, it needs to be more streamlined or something like that. Like, don't complicate things for people. And it's like, motherfucker, you, did you say that?
Elon Musk, I'm going to give you some coaching that I got from my boss when it came to criticism. Is if it's constructive, that you're actually trying to make a difference and make things better, usually come with a solution instead of just bitching. Because if you're just bitching, it just comes off as you having an issue with trans people or that calling somebody by whatever pronouns that they are comfortable with is just a little bit too much work for you.
Also, has anyone in the entire world been like, man, I wonder what Elon Musk thinks about pronoun discourse? Like, what? I wonder what Elon Musk thinks about turning us all into robot people, which he's telling us that freely as well. But that seems a little bit more in your wheelhouse, bro. Right. So let's just keep it under wraps.
Wasn't really expecting to be like Elon Musk going, y'all, them is hard. Them is real tough.
And Elon Musk's future child, or child in the future, just flicking him off forever. Being like, my name doesn't even have a fucking nickname we can go by. I guess X.
I'm not even a people. I'm just an orb of consciousness now. Fucking.
I'm just a vibe.
I'm just XIA12.
I forget how they said to say it. They told everyone how to pronounce it, and it was just as inelegant. So go fuck yourself, Elon Musk, forever. And Grimes sounds like she's singing to you from the underworld. She does that weird, creepy baby voice that matches her, like, little baby bangs.
Oh, no.
And it just sounds like truly she is trying to, like, be like a weird siren for Satan or something. I hate it.
Okay, so they are, like, a supervillain couple, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we're going to find out that the great adjoining or whatever it is with Jupiter and Saturn that happened, the great conjoining, that did give black people superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
That was like 100% accurate.
I hope
but
so.
It takes like a week or so for them to kick in, which honestly, yeah, I wish I had superpowers, but I'm just stoked that anybody's getting them.
Yeah,
I'm just
good for
stoked to
you.
live in a world with superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
You do you. I think if anybody deserves superpowers, I think it's black people.
Absolutely, they do.
400 years of
If
fucking...
they're not going to get justice, they can at least have
no justice,
superpowers.
but guess what? You have laser beam eyes now.
Right?
So, cool.
I would love to see it.
That's great. I'm into it. But then that happens, and of course the villain is going to be like this like creepy like Eastern European dude that launches cars into space.
Right.
And names his baby after the serial number on a nuclear missile.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm into it. I'm down for it. Elon Musk being the world supervillain with his sidekick wife with baby bangs.
Yep.
And
Like how you held on to that part.
yeah,
The baby bangs were the most upsetting part too.
singing from the underworld.
Yep.
In probably a hollowed out volcano, just doing it old school.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm down. I need this to happen.
Yeah, I would watch the movie.
Yep.
For sure.
So anything else
I have
before?
one more. And
Okay.
actually, it's more of a message for 2021 and how I'm very optimistic, of course, that 2021 is going to be better than this like absolute shithole year. But I do get a little nervous sometimes. And one of the things that made me very nervous is that, Goop, the store that Gwyneth Paltrow,
Oh, the vagina candle store.
the vagina candle store.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much the vagina candles are. They're probably like $90 or something because everything at Goop is like outlandishly expensive.
Sure.
You can get like steel cut oats, but they're like cut from the finest steel from the odiest oats. I don't know. It's like all bullshit and they're like $3,000. Anywho, Gwyneth Paltrow sucks and I can't stand her. And her Goop shit is crazy. And she does like a Goop holiday gift guide, of course. It's like the most wonderful time of the year. And in her Goop holiday gift card this year was a bejeweled Ouija board for $2,000. So I am concerned that once those ship in 2021, that the white women are going to be like summoning demons with their bejeweled Ouija boards. They're going to be like, ooh, trendy. Like they didn't want one as a kid because they're spooky, but now they're like fun. And Gwyneth said to get one. And now they're going to like bring forth all the demons.
Could you imagine if you're a demon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting for a gateway to open up between your netherworld and the living world, and it's like a bright door in the darkness the abyss that you live in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you tear ass towards this opening as it opens, trying to get there before it closes, and you get through into the living world. Just to find out there's some woman named Karen that's really into fucking crystals that also, lives in this like lavish pad and bitches so much about how they never seem to be able to keep their wine refrigerator stocked
Right.
well enough, and shops at Trader Joe's and bitches at makeup store counters, and it's just like this unbearable, self-important piece of shit.
Yep.
And that's who you have to fucking like bother.
Yeah,
At first,
that'd
you're
be fun to haunt them.
You'd be excited at first until you realize that like it just doesn't work the same way with those people
True.
at all. It's gonna be like all it is like blame it on the gardener,
On the housekeeper.
on the housekeeper.
Mhm.
They get fired. Now you're creating like a racist response to your actions. So
Yep.
you're now like feeling guilty as a demon. Like I don't really have an issue with people of different races. Like I'm really mad that there's just like racist shit happening because I'm bothering this waspy woman.
Yep.
And it's all your fault.
Yep.
You feel responsible for it.
Well, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So that is a concern that I have for next year. Hopefully it doesn't, come to fruition, but it's definitely something I'm worried about.
just a bunch of women getting fucking wine drunk, lighting up some vagina candles, and then getting out their bejeweled Ouija board. They're doing shit that I was doing like when I was 13 and 14 years
You
old.
were lighting your vagina candle?
Vagina candles, absolutely. No, just regular dollar store candles because we were poor.
Right.
And I didn't get a bejeweled Ouija board. I had to bejewel it myself.
Good for you. That means more.
It was a lot of work, a lot of time and energy went in it. And you know what? Maybe there was a couple bejewels that were a little bit crooked on my Ouija board, but you know what? I put that energy in. I put that time in. There was love in that Ouija board.
Were they all precious stones or were some of them like semi-precious?
Oh, no, they were
stones?
plastic.
Oh,
Plastic
God.
fake gems.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Fake rhinestones. Yes.
Embarrassing Ouija board. Clearly not from Goop.
No, that's not a Goop approved Ouija board.
Goop denied.
Going to a yard sale, you see like a knockoff Goop Ouija board.
Oh my God, I would buy it. I would buy it. That would be absolutely incredible.
Like it summons demons, but it's only like half-ass demons that don't really give a shit.
It's fucking Grimes.
It's just Grimes.
I would be so pissed.
Coming from the netherworld.
She's like, oh. I'm like, no.
Have you seen my bangs?
I love your hang up.
I really hung up on the bang because the baby bangs is so upsetting.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know
I'll show you a
exactly what you're
picture.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh, man. I guess that about wraps it up, huh?
I think we're about done. I do want to give a shout out
Oh, sure.
to something wonderful that happened in this 2020.
Okay.
Is that everybody in the world got to dunk on Ben Shapiro for
Oh
not being
my
able
God.
to pleasure a woman.
That was absolutely incredible. Please give the context.
The context is there was a tweet that Ben Shapiro put out about if a woman's pussy, responding to wet ass pussy
Right.
when that came out,
Mhm.
that if a woman's pussy was wet, they should probably go see a doctor or see someone about it.
That's what his wife said because she is a doctor.
Oh, she is a doctor.
Yeah.
That if there's a wet pussy, then
Yeah.
there's an issue with the pussy. Yeah.
Right.
To which that suggests that is not an issue that his wife has to deal with at any length for any time. Is getting moist down there. So it was pretty clear. And then he doubled down on it and followed up
really did.
with a statement that I don't remember the exact sentiment but it was something along the lines of like, I don't need to know how to pleasure a woman because God's cool or
Yep,
something.
basically. Along
Really
those lines.
fucking
Oh,
unbelievable.
That was amazing, actually. It was really, really good.
I like that he like leaned in like, yeah, I don't pleasure women well because
Yep.
Jesus. Or
Yep,
something.
exactly.
Just insane.
I think it was just kind of like when you're married, you don't really have to. I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Yeah, right. We're a married couple. We get to disappoint each other regularly and it's fine.
He's like, just like my flaccid penis. What about it?
Yeah, right.
That's what God wants. It's just a soft dick and
You're
a dry vagina.
Now, like, wondering if you are really, like, want to dunk on him or if you're just, like, weirdly proud of how wide open he is about being just a total sexual piece of shit.
That was like when DJ Khaled was just casually like, I do not go down on my wife. I will not do it. And everyone was like, we're not impressed, bro.
Yeah, and then
What
The
was
Rock started
purpose?
power dunking on him.
That was also amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. If you're bad at sex, just continue revealing it to all of us because we are living for it. We need to know.
Another way you can reveal it to women is by jumping into their DMs and calling them like bitch and stuff like that because they don't send you nudes right away.
Right.
Yeah.
Or because they like have a boyfriend or
Or literally just
Literally
don't
any
feel like
reason.
talking to a complete stranger
Yep.
that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at all.
Yep.
Period. Not even that way. Just period.
Right? Can we leave that in 2020? Like put that in the
Oh, that
dumpster fire.
a woman's time is owned by whoever feels they need to take it.
Yeah, and especially these men who don't even know that a woman needs to be wet to get please. Like, these are the dudes, please.
Ben Shapiro, like, wait, it gets wet? Ew.
She actually gets wet because she's thinking about, I don't know, it's like a game show host or something like that. And then I just feel like that's what she's into. And then Ben is like,
like
are
Pat
you okay?
Sajak.
It's definitely Pat Sajak. It's
Yeah.
probably Vanna White. And
Ooh.
he's like, are you okay? I feel like something's very wrong. This is like what they were talking about. I should get a bucket and a mop.
That's the thing is that he just thinks that there's a problem because every time she gets moist while watching the Price is Right or something, she's like, yeah, I'm having like a problem down there and goes into the bedroom to be alone for a little bit.
To deal with her vagina problems.
Her vagina problems on her own.
Oh my God, Wheel of Fortune, 7 p.m. every night. She has a vagina problem.
Yeah, it has to go
So unfortunate.
Lock the door and be in the bedroom by yourself for a little bit.
Yep. Thinking about the dulcet tones of Pat Sajak's voice.
The episode's over. He comes in, like, knocks on her, like, hon, you okay? And here's like, just over and over again.
Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Yep. Spin that wheel.
So sexy.
Playing Plinko in there. Yeah,
I mean, Plinko is a very exciting game.
that's true.
So, in all fairness.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up. It's our last episode of 2020, and hopefully we will come back to a less upsetting year in 2021, because honestly, we get jealous. We want to be the most upsetting part of your life. And so far this year, we haven't been. And also, the most upsetting thing that happened this year is that we started this podcast. So there you go.
That's true. January 1st of 2020 was our first episode. We showed a preview.
We did.
On Christmas Day on the Geeks Under the Influence stream.
Yeah.
So this is actually our 1 year anniversary of having any content out from Deeply Upsetting.
Extremely upsetting news, honestly.
Yeah, very upsetting news.
The most upsetting part is that we are going to continue doing
it's
the
a
show.
thing that's going to keep happening.
Sorry. So keep listening wherever you get your podcasts, and also listen to the other shows on the Geeks Under the Influence network. They are good, and we want them to keep going.
That is very true.
Please listen to them. Also, give some shout outs to our theme music. Jason Farnham wrote Payday, and we love it. It's jaunty. It seems like, we're lighthearted and normal.
It is a jaunty little tune.
It's a jaunty little tune. I love it. It gets stuck in my head, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Which then sucks. So, it all balances itself out in the wash. But yeah, for another episode of Deeply Upsetting, and the last one of 2020, it's been a good year, Mike.
I think so.
I mean, we did the best we could, and we're still here.
Better than anybody, as best as anyone can expect in 2020.
Exactly. So, for the last one of 2020, I am Amy Bogarde.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And this has been Deeply Upsetting.
GUIPodcast.com.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm F.U. Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're gonna fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
embrace the madness.